Narrator. Today on Judge Faith, a homeowner says she trusted a handyman to repair her house, but claims he walked away before the work was finished. Now she's bringing the dispute to court, seeking accountability for the incomplete job.
He did not show up. There was an issue of not having gas money. Again, the truck broke down. He fell off a ladder.
Narrator. But the handyman tells a different story. He says the project kept expanding, with the homeowner repeatedly adding new demands that delayed completion.
A lot of work that I did that wasn't in the contract, that was for gratis work.
And later.
What's your relationship?
We're a couple.
Okay,
and
so
I work with him, I do the paperwork, the office things.
she's rude and I don't like her.
Narrator. And later, new details emerge that could shift the case in an unexpected direction. Will the evidence support the homeowner's claims or back up the handyman's defense?
To you how things work in my court.
Narrator. Judge Faith delivers the final word. Her ruling brings this dispute to a decisive close. School. Narrator. Faith Jenkins built her legal career on excellence and determination. After graduating first in her law school class, she went on to serve as a formidable New York City prosecutor and later a respected legal analyst on national television. Today, she presides over her own courtroom where real disputes are heard and her decisions are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Catrice Harris is suing her former handyman for $2,965, claiming breach of contract and unfinished work. She says the job was left incomplete and delayed beyond agreement. Defendant Gary Froelich disputes her claims and has filed a countersuit for lost wages. He appears in court today with his business partner and wife, Sharon Ryan, as both sides seek resolution before Judge Faith.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Harris versus Froelich.
Thank you, Barbara. Catrice Harris?
Yes.
You were suing the defendants Gary Froelich
Yes.
and Sharon Ryan for $2,965, a refund for what you say is a breach of contract, a construction contract. You hired them to work in your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing for $1,200 for lost wages, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll start with you, Ms. Harris. Tell me what happened here.
Well, Your Honor, I found the defendant on thumbtack.com around June 19th. We met, he walked through my home, we listed everything that needed to be done. I gave an exhaustive list of all that I needed, and we narrowed it down to what he could do that would fit my budget. So we clearly outlined all the expectations. There was work that needed to be done outside the home, replacing some fascia board, doing some painting, inside the home, removing old wallpaper, painting, removing carpet, and putting down some wood laminate flooring. And it was really important that everything be finished by a deadline because I had my mother coming in from out of the country and also picking up and bringing my grandmother. I needed the house to be right.
What was the deadline?
The deadline was August 9th.
Okay.
He stated he could have everything done within 4 weeks, but there was a window of 7 weeks just in case anything went wrong. At the time that we met, I also asked what happens if something goes wrong. Do you do this by yourself? Because I didn't think he could complete it all by himself when we met. And he said that he had individuals that he would hire to ensure that the job was done per our agreement within a 4-week time period.
Did you all enter into a written agreement?
Yes, I have a copy of that
May I
written
see
agreement.
that, please? And what was the agreed upon price for the work that he would do?
$8,000 total.
So you say that you met him on thumbtack.com. What is that website?
It's a website where people can advertise different services that range from painting to cleaning to all kinds of services.
Are you a licensed contractor?
No, because a lot of my work don't necessarily need a license.
Okay. So
like
you do
painting
this.
and whatnot, you don't need a license for that in the state of Texas.
You're only required for electrical licensing.
And
Okay.
plumbing and stuff like that.
So how long have you been
Now,
doing
as far
this?
as the deadline is concerned,
Let me ask you
iterate.
something. What's your relationship?
We're a couple.
Okay,
And I
so
work with him, I do the paperwork, the office things.
okay, so you work in the business together.
Yes,
Okay. And how long have you been doing this kind of work, Mr. Froelich?
All my life, over 30 years.
Do you have a
Always.
specialty or do you do all
I
type
specialize
of?
in many things.
Let me just finish my question. I know you
Okay.
think you know what I'm going to ask. Let me finish my
Sorry.
question though. Do you have a specialty in terms of contracting or do you build houses?
Mainly remodeling. It's a scope of work that I can do.
Which is a synonym for renovation.
Okay, so you do home renovations.
Yes.
What was the agreed upon work that you wanted him to do?
I needed the fascia board replaced. I needed the whole exterior painted simply because the old paint was fading. Inside, once the outside was finished, he agreed to take up carpet and put down new wood laminate flooring, and I would purchase all of the supplies and material.
I believe it was tile originally.
Yeah, the original contract was for tile.
Don't interrupt. Let her finish,
Okay.
and then I'll come to you and you can respond, okay?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Actually, it was always wood laminate flooring because I bought samples, I ordered free samples and showed those to Gary, and he helped me select what was going to be easier for him to lay down himself. So in the beginning, he was to take up the old carpet and put down the new wood laminate flooring, and also remove wallpaper and paint. And we walked through the house so he would see specifically which rooms needed what before we agreed on anything at all.
And did you pay anything up front?
Yes, I did. I paid half up front, $4,000. I did pay that. I think it's really important to note that the first day that he showed up, he was there for less than 2 hours, tore down a lot of wood, left it piled in my front yard, which I could have been fined for from the Homeowners Association. And the very next day when he was to return, his truck broke down. His truck broke down 4 or 5 times over the span of 6 weeks.
Was there an issue with your truck breaking down 4 or 5 times?
I did have issues with the truck, but I still made it to work.
7 days in a row, he did not show up. There was an issue of not having gas money. Again, the truck broke down. He fell off a ladder. He sustained heat stroke. All of this while he was inside, not able to work because he didn't feel well. And Sharon let it be known accidentally that he was doing work on their home and other people's homes as well, because I lived a little too far for them to drive to get to my house. He knew where I lived when they signed the paperwork. If it was too far, they shouldn't have agreed to it.
Narrator. Coming up, Judge Faith turns up the pressure in the courtroom. As questions intensify, both sides are pushed to defend their claims.
To answer the question I'm asking. I'm asking for the reason why you didn't show up for several days in a row.
Well,
I was answering the question.
No, you weren't.
Narrator. Plaintiff Catrice Harris says she paid the defendant $8,000 to repair and improve her property. She claims he failed to finish the work by the agreed deadline, leaving the project incomplete. Defendant Gary Froelich disputes that account. He says the scope of the job kept expanding because the plaintiff repeatedly added new tasks, making the original timeline impossible to meet.
Number of days in a row where you weren't showing up to her home.
Yes.
Okay, what was the reason?
This contract was extended a lot. We gave her a lot of additional work. In her own letter, she says we were going to throw in a lot of
I want you to answer the question I'm asking. You're jumping ahead to additional work that you claim she wanted to have done. I'm asking for the reason why you didn't show up for several days in a row.
Well, I
was answering the question.
No, you weren't. So now's your time to answer it.
Okay.
What's the answer?
Since the contract went longer than we expected, I did take additional work. We have to pay workers, we have to pay for equipment, rentals.
Okay, that makes no sense to me. Surely I'm not the only person who doesn't understand what you just said. Since her contract is running longer than expected.
Can I answer that?
You took on additional projects outside of her contract instead of finishing hers?
Yeah, I'm able to run 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. I don't have to necessarily devote all my time to her job. Mm-hmm. I have to satisfy other customers as well as her. So,
do you think that
in order to keep my business going, I have to keep everybody happy.
Well, do you think it's appropriate for you not to show up for 7 days in a row, sir?
Well, I'm not punching a time clock. I mean, I can make her aware of my absence. Yeah.
Okay, and so when there's a deadline,
which we would have completed, absolutely.
No, let me finish. When there's a deadline,
that is the issue.
Lose the attitude. You understand?
Yes.
You have one more time to get smart with me before I put you out. Because I'm being nice right now. You don't want to get me upset. I'm doing my job, which is asking questions. All I want to know are the answers to the questions I'm asking.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to have an opportunity to speak our side of it and the delays that she caused?
There's a deadline in this contract. That deadline was not met.
It was met. She fired us before she allowed us to make it. The last text we have is, she said, when will you show up? We said 9 o'clock again The next day, she wasn't
I haven't
there.
made phone calls to
We
try
called
to
her
make
repeatedly.
arrangements so when I could go next.
So this contract was for $8,000. You say at some point you paid them the rest of the money?
Yes, on August.
So you paid them a full $8,000?
full $8,000.
If there were such issues with him making excuses, how do you get to the point where you pay another $4,000? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Can I
totally
I'm
agree.
asking Ms. Harris.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I totally agree. And looking back on it, I'm thinking I looked pretty crazy. When we finally finished painting the outside, which in all fairness, the outside looked good. At that point, I had
seen the yard,
conversations
too.
with Sharon, and who is, if I may say, a really good con artist. She begged me. She said, I know Gary has trouble communicating. I know Gary doesn't delegate well, but I'm going to send
I
help.
was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Actually,
You were so emotional.
Gary's
through the whole
words
thing.
were...
She was so
Ms.
emotional
Ryan,
through the whole
wait,
thing.
let me tell you.
I had to hold her hand through the whole thing.
Okay, stop talking. Stop talking. Go
I will.
ahead, and then I will let you.
I will stop
I will let
talking.
you have an opportunity to respond. Go ahead.
Gary
done.
used the term, if I can't get it done, I can hire some Mexicans to get it done. That was a little bit offensive to me, but those were his words. I asked Sharon if they had plans to hire anyone to assist with the job, and she said, don't worry about it. I've already hired someone to clean up the debris that we left in your backyard from
never
where they
said
pulled
that.
down
I
old
never said that.
wood, and she said
I
that,
never
that she
said
would
that.
make sure Gary
No, ma'am.
had...
Okay, Ms. Ryan, tell me what happened. What was that conversation?
You ordered me to stop talking.
You know
I
what?
stopped talking. No, I'm
Listen,
done.
when I... Goodbye. You can go.
Goodbye.
Get out. Just leave.
Out of here, Gary. We're going.
Narrator. Coming up on Judge Faith, when does added work cross the line? The court weighs whether the project demands went beyond the original agreement.
Your wife here for this? Because these text messages speak for themselves. Patrice, took truck in, not drivable, thought it'd be a quick fix, but I'm waiting for a part. I'll keep you updated. Fast forward a few days later, sir. I didn't want to take a chance with the rain. All is well. I will be there tomorrow.
Narrator. Plaintiff Catrice Harris says she paid the defendant the full $8,000 to repair her property. She claims he failed to complete the job within the agreed time frame. Defendant Gary Froelich tells a different story. He says the plaintiff kept expanding the project with extra requests, making it impossible to meet the original deadline.
If you would like to finish your case, I'm going to hear what you have to say.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I can sum it up real simple.
Please do.
There was a lot of rotten wood, as the contract states, that when you start something like this, is all unforeseen. So therefore, it took a little longer outside than I anticipated. From there, the paint took longer because it took more paint. There was bees that had to be removed. I told her I would do that for nothing, so she wouldn't have to get another exterminator in there. There's a lot of work that I did that wasn't in the contract, that was for gratis work, so that I'd get a good review on this thumbtack. After the outside was done, I moved on to the inside. And so, because it took me so long, I had to get other work in order to keep my business going and pay my bills and whatnot. But to sum it up, the job would have been done. I had 5 days left. The job would have been done before her mother came. And I mean, that's all I have to say.
So, Ms. Harris, do you have photos of the condition your home was left in after you say you terminated your contract with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am. And
May
I
I
would
see
not
those?
have terminated the contract with him had he shown, when I gave him that final, if I can go back to the question you asked me a moment ago, the final $2,000 was to be paid once the work was completed. He came to me and said that he was going to be evicted from his home. And if there was any way I could pay the final $2,000 early, he promised to have the work done within 3 days before the following Monday.
And did you tell her that?
There was a lot of said between her and
I don't think she's making that up. Let's look at the photos.
So this is how he left my backyard after he finished the exterior, and when he and Sharon promised, and I have their text message conversations, they promised to send someone to clean up my backyard. They
Next
never
photo.
did.
That debris gets done at the end of the job, when all the material from the inside and outside is done, and then at the end of the job, everything's picked up, cleaned
Right.
up,
And you're saying you
hauled
didn't have
away.
the opportunity because
Yeah,
you were
that
terminated.
was all on a pile in the backyard.
Next photo.
I came home. He was supposed to come back and finish painting. This is how he left one of the bedrooms painted.
And that's free work there.
No, that's not. That
Yes,
was
it
included
is.
in the contract.
It's not even in
Okay,
the
let's go to the next
contract.
photo.
Goodness.
Let's go to the next one.
And that's an example of the flooring that was cracking because he didn't lay the flooring properly and tight enough, and the second contractor had to fix that.
I don't need your wife here for this. One, because she's rude and I don't like her.
Well,
Okay.
she's
Two, because these text messages speak for themselves.
What?
Okay, these text messages are between you and her, and they speak for themselves.
no. A lot of the text messages she wrote. I don't text.
Judge Faith, may I say one more thing about that last payment? He agreed that if I paid the $2,000 early, that he would throw in an extra dining room and hallway area with paint. It was after that 17th that he failed to show up for the following 7 days, which was outlined in the document I gave. So if he'd planned to complete the work, he would have shown up, is my point.
Do you have proof that you paid another contractor
Yes,
work
ma'am.
on the same area? Would you please submit that to the court? Here's the issue after reviewing the text messages with you and or your wife, sir. June 24th. Text message from this side. Catrice, took truck in, not drivable, thought it'd be a quick fix, but I'm waiting for a part. I'll keep you updated. I apologize. It's one day. 2 days later, I will not be able to see you today before you go to work. I'll see you after work. She expresses concern because that's not enough time for you to be there to get work done. Fast forward a few days later, text message from you. I will be there tomorrow to do garage doors and caulk Thursday. I will paint. I apologize for the delay. This is another day you didn't show up. She's texting you, asking you, prompting you, what's going on? When is this going to get done? When is that going to get done?
And I was answering her.
The next day, right, but
you
and I'm
don't
glad
text.
that you're responding to her text messages, sir, but that's not the problem. The problem is you're not responding, you're not being responsive in doing the work in a timely manner.
According
July
to who?
4th,
Her or me?
you're a no-show. Thank you for picking up the paint. I will see you the next time. She gets home. Gary, I'm home. Did something happen today? I didn't want to take a chance with the rain. All is well. I will be there tomorrow. Fast forward a few days later, sir. The garage, didn't get a chance to finish. My truck was there. More is wrong than I expected. I'll let you know tomorrow. 2 days later, I'm fixing the truck and headed to the doctor, as I mentioned. Then, this is where it gets really troubling because she sends a message and she really lays out everything that's going on here. And she's being a lot nicer than I would have been, just so you know. Because 12 days have gone by, she's paid you in full, and apparently
No,
after
she
she's
didn't pay
paid
me in
you,
full.
after she's
No, she
repaid,
didn't.
sir, she paid you the entire amount for this contract, correct?
In different segments, yes.
Right,
She gave
so
me
at some point-
4,000, 2,000, and then 2,000. In the middle of there, she gave me a 2,000 draw. And when I asked for that 2,000 draw, I thought she was gonna have a heart attack in her front yard. She started yelling and hooting and hollering. Even the neighbors saw that she was screaming and yelling at me because I asked for a second draw.
Okay, so you got a total of $8,000, sir, am I correct?
In different increments, yes.
I don't care about the increments. You got a total of $8,000, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. After she's paid you in full, you don't show up.
Coming up. Narrator. Coming up, Judge Faith prepares to deliver her decision. The courtroom awaits the final outcome to narrator. And now, Judge Faith issues a ruling.
I could have lined up more work, but instead I was waiting on a response for her of when I could go back to the house with other people to finish it. I could have had that house finished within the time period before her mother came.
Right, if you had showed up the days that you were supposed to show up.
And even the 5
Right.
days, even the 5 days that I had left on
Ma'am.
the contract.
Why are you suing for $2,000 in addition to the $965? It costs $965 for you to hire
Yeah,
a
and
new
the
contractor.
$2,000,
Don't
the work
interrupt
was
me while I'm
already
talking.
done.
You know what? I don't see how you dealt with them for 2 months. I can't deal with you for another 2 minutes. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,965.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit.
Narrator. If you or someone you know is facing a dispute, don't try to handle it on your own. Let Judge Faith settle the affair. Finalruling.to submit your case. Visit judgefaith.com and share your story with the court. We'll see you in court.